Next we write the compatibility equation for the first case. Now since in the first case our end do not yield, we have the delta L equal to 0. Now as the steel bar and aluminum bar are in series, we have delta L as delta L of steel plus delta L of aluminum, and this is equal to 0. Free expansion / contraction of steel plus expansion contraction prevented, this is for steel, plus free expansion contraction of aluminum plus expansion contraction prevented, and this is for aluminum, and this algebraic sum is equal to 0. Therefore we have alpha S delta T into Ls plus sigma S Ls upon Es, which is a delta L of total steel, plus alpha A delta T into La plus sigma A La upon Ea, and this whole algebraic sum is equal to 0. Now we see we have all the positive terms, but after solving it we'll get alpha S is 1.17 into 10 to the power minus 6. Upon substituting the value we get 1.17 into 10 to the power minus 5 into delta T is minus 40 into Ls is 800 mm plus sigma S, what we have to find out, into Ls 800 mm upon Es is 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per mm square. This plus alpha A is 2.34 into 10 to the power minus 5 into delta T is minus 40 into length of aluminum is 400 mm plus sigma A into 400 mm upon Ea is 0.7 into 10 to the power 5. This is delta L of aluminum, and this is equal to 0. Now upon substituting the value of sigma S in terms of sigma A from equation 1 in this equation 2, we get minus 748 into 10 to the power minus 3 plus 1.5 sigma A, this is nothing but sigma S, multiplied by 800 upon 2 into 10 to the power 5 plus sigma A into 400 upon 0.7 into 10 to the power 5, and this whole is equal to 0. Upon solving this, the only unknown here is sigma A, so we get the value of sigma A as 63.85 Newton per mm square, which is positive, so it is tensile stress. Upon substituting this value in our equation 1, we get the corresponding stress in steel bar as sigma S is 1.5 into 63.85, which is nothing but 95.78 Newton per mm square. Since this is also positive, we get tensile stress. So this much is the value of stress induced in both steel and aluminum, which are tensile stresses when the ends do not yield. Now we start solving for the second case where your delta L is minus 0.25 mm. So again in this case, when delta L is minus 0.25 mm, when the stresses are developed in steel bar and aluminum bar, the load on steel and aluminum bar will still be same. So our first relation of sigma S is equal to 1.5 times of sigma A will again be applicable. Now again writing the delta L equation for the steel and aluminum bar, the equation will be similar to this equation. Only thing is the value of delta L here, it will be minus 0.25 mm. So we have minus 748 into 10 to the power minus 3 plus 1.5 sigma A into 800 upon 2 into 10 to the power 5 plus sigma A into 400 upon 0.7 into 10 to the power 5 is equal to minus 0.25. So again here upon solving we get the value of sigma A as 42.51 Newton per mm square, and upon substituting the value of sigma A in this equation we get the value of corresponding tensile stress on steel bar as 1.5 into 42.51, and this is equal to 63.76 Newton per mm square. So these are the value of stresses in the second case when your ends yield by 0.25 mm in this direction. Now as you can see, these values are lesser than these values that is sigma is 63.85 and sigma is 95.78. The reason here is, since your ends yield, the steel and aluminum bar has been slightly relieved. That means it has been allowed to slightly contract. Hence the resulting stresses developed in the steel and aluminum bar is less. With this, our problem is solved. Thanks for watching in 5 minutes.